Hi again, Mark here from Talkingbass. Tomorrow sees the release of the new Groove Trainer course over at the Talkingbass website. Today we're going to look at one of the 60 grooves in Module 2 of the course. Groove Trainer for bass guitar is in two parts. Module 1 contains 17 lessons on all aspects of bass groove playing. We'll work on the essential aspects of rhythm, harmony, drum beats, technique and much more. Then in Module 2 we're going to put all of this into practice with 60 progressive bass grooves, working up from incredibly sparse whole note lines to syncopated eighth note riffs. Each groove features coaching from yours truly as we work through the technique and rhythmic hurdles as well as the inner details of the groove by way of the harmony and the interaction with the drum beat. For this lesson we'll be looking at Groove 54, which features syncopated eighth notes in a funky rock kind of setting. Remember to sign up to the free Talkingbass membership to receive updates and release information on the course, and enjoy! Groove number 54, we've got a funky rock kind of groove, and again we've got some syncopated rhythms here with some eighth note rests. So we begin with this little move. So we've got D and C, 5th and 3rd frets of the A string, eighth notes, 1 and 2 and. Okay, so 1 and 2 and. Then we've got the eighth note rest, so 1 and 2 and 3, and then on the and we have got some offbeat eighth notes here. So we've got F sharp, G and G sharp, 2nd, 3rd and 4th frets on the E string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then we land on the A, 5th fret of the E string. So just get that down first, just counting that out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Okay, so we're hitting those ands there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Then we play the A again on the and of 3 and come up through the eighth notes, C, C sharp, back to the D. So we're landing back on the main beat there with C, C sharp, 3rd fret and 4th fret on the A string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're landing on the offbeats there, we're sticking with the offbeats, so we have this repeating offbeat rhythm, and then eventually we just land back on the beat at the end to bring us back round. In terms of the fretting hand there, I'm starting on the 4th finger for the D, using the 1st finger for the C. Then when we rise up, I'm starting with the 1st finger on the F sharp, and then use the 1st finger again for the G, then 2nd finger for the G sharp, and then the 4th finger for the A. So 4th finger again for the A, again, and then the C and the C sharp taken with the 1st and the 2nd finger. So at all times here in this kind of area around the 3rd to 5th fret, you can see that I'm using this 1st, 2nd and 4th finger, so you don't have to deal with, larger stretches. And this is what I mean in the Module 1 when I'm talking about stretches and all that kind of stuff. You don't really need to be thinking in terms of a 1 finger per fret all the time. In this lower area, it's going to be more 1, 2, 4. Then we repeat that bass line with a bit of a variation. So then for the final 4 eighth notes, we got C, A, C, C sharp. So just slight variation there. So 3rd fret on the A string, back to the 5th fret of the E string, and then back up 3rd, 4th and 5th frets, leading back up to the D. So just those 2 bars round and round. Just get used to those variations first. Then we repeat that bass line again, but with another variation to bring us down to the G. So that time we just played the C back down to the A. So that's the end of that bar. And then for the final 2 bars we have, and we're back up. So We have the G there, 3rd fret of the E string, and we've got the octave of that at the 5th fret of the D string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. So again, slightly syncopated there. So we've got the first 2 8th notes, rest, 8th note rest there. Octave back down to the G, so 1 and 2 and 3 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. Then rest. And then for the 4th bar, same again, 1 and 2 and 3 and. So this time on the A octave, 5th fret E string, 7th fret on the D string, and then that little C, C sharp, 3rd, 4th frets on the A string to lead us back up to the D. So for those final 2 bars, we're using the 1st and 4th fingers for the octaves there, and then just switching over to the 1st and 2nd fingers for the C, C sharp, so we can land back on the 4th finger when we start again. So the whole thing slowly. For the picking hand, you can start on either finger with alternate picking. Then for the rise up there, you can just use the 1st finger. And then when we're playing those few 8th notes at the end, you can use alternate picking there. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. Okay, so you only need to use the 2nd finger there when we're playing those 8th notes. So let's have a listen to the drum beat there. So we've got 8th notes in the hi-hat, but with the occasional open hi-hat there leading into one of the main beats. Snare, 2 and 4 again. 1, 2, 3. So backbeat's always there, and then the bass drum is moving around to basically double what we're playing. Hear there how those bass drums match up with what we're playing, and again you're going to need to lock in to those bass drums. Listen to the bass drum as you're playing, make sure that you're tight with it, and like I said, use the 8th notes there in the hi-hat to really basically sit in the groove. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, the focus here is on those syncopated 8th notes and the choking to ensure that we have that separation in there, and also the independence, so you can hear the drums in there, you can hear those bass drums while you're playing. Like I said in the previous groove, you don't want to be just playing along. You don't want that to be just, you know, keeping time. You've got to lock in, you've got to listen to the drums as you're playing so that it all becomes one thing. In terms of the harmony, we're in the key of D, but as we've seen in some of the previous grooves, we're using that blues harmony of just moving dominant 7 chords around. So we're in the key of D with D7 being chord 1. It's a D7 chord. Shouldn't be a D7, you know, to be diatonically correct, but we got that bluesy sound. So then up to chord 4 for G7. Again, that shouldn't be a dominant 7 chord, that should just be a major or a major 7, but we got the G7, so. And then up to the A, which we've got as an A major or an A7, so it's just dominant 7s moving around, but just with the basic primary chords, 1, 4, and 5. You know, if you're going to take anything away from this course in terms of the harmony, it's to know that a lot of songs, or most songs, are based around that primary chord framework, 1, 4, and 5. So one last time with the track.